Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I'm outside Stamford Bridge after a 1-0 win against Tottenham in the Premier League. Nina, what did you make of the game today?
I'm happy.
Finally
we beat
back
Tottenham.
again.
We beat Tottenham 1-0. Why shouldn't I be happy? Yeah, we didn't blow him away. It wasn't the most entertaining game of the century, especially in this derby, but who cares? You know, we got the job done. It was a brilliant goal. Shame about the second one because Caicedo's goal was equally great. And it wasn't half volley. I think it was a full volley that he hit. And he
it bounced
scored.
first and then he volleyed it, yeah.
Okay, but still, fair enough. And, you know, so brilliant from the pair of them today. So, yeah, look, results are important right now. It's always great to beat your rivals, so I'm happy today.
Hey, I mean, I'm surprised people aren't happier.
I don't get it.
I've had mixed reactions when I've spoken to people. You know, Father said he was relaxed, he expected it, he's chilled. Matt was positive, but, you know, there are a number of things he's not happy with.
Yeah.
Kev thinks it was a really entertaining game. Steve was unhappy. You know, he didn't think it was good whatsoever. He thinks we're rubbish. So where do you stand?
Well, look, I think there is constructive criticism to give, and certainly, again, these performances, they aren't always convincing. That's an issue that we've had, right? To consistently deliver performances that basically grind us out results. But sometimes you just have to get the result, right? And today that was really, really important. Both sides got an offside goal apiece. You know, there were chances for both sides, but again, we walked away with the 1-0 win and a clean sheet. Could have been more convincing, and certainly there were moments in that game where I expected better. It doesn't necessarily fill me with lots of confidence that we continue the rest of our fixtures and actually manage to, you know, see out a results against all of them. However, for right now and what we're showing at this, sorry, I just got really distracted.
They just threw a bottle at someone in the background, or someone did something.
Yes. Anyway, I understand, and I said this, you know, when we beat Leicester and Southampton, I said, great, those are great results, but the way we play doesn't fill me with confidence for the tougher fixtures we have coming up. So I guess that theory still stands after today, because again, we did show our frailties, we did give Tottenham certain chances to punish us as well, and again, we will learn from those mistakes, I hope, for the remainder of the season. So I can understand why some Chelsea fans are certainly maybe a bit dissatisfied with that one, but again, you know, it's a London derby. We came here, we created an atmosphere at the start. The players, you can see how much it means for them as well, and if it gives the players anything, they're filled up with confidence today. So why should us fans take that away from them? We want to encourage this kind of better morale in the club, to pick themselves up, and, you know, Madueke, Jackson, Palmer, these are all players that thrive off wins and goals, and they turn up because they understand what these derbies mean. Caicedo, Enzo, patting the badge, that all means something, and it's just great to see. So I thoroughly enjoyed it from that side of things.
Like, I feel so knackered after that game. That took so much energy from me, and that's the thing that I felt the same way actually with a lot of the other games recently, but for the wrong reasons, because I was so bored.
Yeah.
You know, and this was a game that was entertaining. It had chances for both sides. Honestly, Tottenham could have probably got something from this game. Not that they deserved it, but they could have easily done it. You know, the refereeing, the atmosphere within the stands. So I don't really know, apart from a slightly better performance, what you can ask for as a Chelsea fan, because most people say, I don't care how we win, as long as we win. We've won, and some people are still upset.
Yeah, I know. And look, again, I'm a fan who said I want to watch entertaining football. I certainly think we can be doing more on the pitch and we can be playing convincing games. There's certainly been a lot of them recently that are boring. Like, take Arsenal, for example. That derby was pretty rubbish from both sides, let's say. Arsenal just walked away with the win that day. We turned up with nothing. They weren't, frankly, blowing us away either, and it was just very meh. And we've had a lot of meh games this year. So I think it's more about a standard that we've been deprived of good football, and we want to celebrate these good goals, and we want to see a little bit more chemistry. I think even today you can take it that individually players are doing well. It's just coming together and being a cohesive collective is sometimes what is still lacking, because you could even see in the first half it was quite tricky to find some patterns of play and see something kind of consistently work moving forward. There often felt like there was a bit of a cut-off from our wingers receiving the ball and then doing something with it, a lot of, again, dilly-dallying with it. And here I'm referring to Sancho, a player that you could feel a bit of frustration there with the fact that you just want to say, come on Sancho, shoot. And when he did, Vicario, it was a great save, but that was just that one occasion. So imagine if he took more shots, and that goes to everyone else. Imagine if other players took more shots. Neto, some brilliant crosses today from him, but sadly they weren't really going to anyone. So in that regard, I get it. It needs to be better, but that's also coming from the fact that we don't really have that aerial presence, and it's great to have Jackson back, don't get me wrong, but such a struggle against Van de Ven today, wasn't it, for him to even win that physical battle there. And we've seen it a lot with Jackson this season. He needs to be a bit stronger in that regard, and his one-on-one duels need to be better. You argue in attack, aerially, he's probably what we look to as our best kind of threat in the air, but we need to be a little bit better. Exactly, that's it. We don't really have aerial threat. Enzo Fernandez is scoring headers, Cucurella is scoring headers, arguably the shortest players in the team are getting these goals. So you can see the void there, and again, you'll look forward to summer to fix that. But right now, we need to find something in the meantime, because Enzo Maresca's got this squad till the end of the season, still has to get this squad in a top 5 finish to secure Champions League football, still have a Conference League to win. So we need to work out how we can actually utilise Neto's crosses, because otherwise he's just spamming crosses left, right and centre, and it's really futile. I always say Cole Palmer and Neto best crosses in the team, but frankly we don't get much out of it, because again, someone's always kind of missing there at the far post, or someone's not being kind of physical, making those runs in behind, and that comes from the fact that when we want to hold our shape, it means that we're too kind of set up to play side to side at times, rather than having someone that's constantly making those runs in. But you know, I think Tottenham set up, like, from one side of things, you know, they didn't really play that high line that they played against us when we beat them 4-1 with 2 men down, and also last year. But I think the way they pressed us, it did kind of cause us to make a few errors as well. And I've noticed that's a pattern with teams. You know, they will basically come out and just press high because they force errors out of us, and they know we're not too confident at the back. Today we weren't punished for it, but I can see why it is concerning moving forward when you come to play the better teams, that, you know, will be clinical up front, will be ruthless and lethal with the chances they create. Like, say, Nottingham Forest, for example, they don't often dominate possession in a game, but if they're through, they have the power to finish chances and absolutely put the ball out in the net. So it's tough when you look at the fixtures coming up, but for today, if we have to solely look at this game, yes, criticism to take away, but also praise the players. Caicedo's been brilliant. He went down in the first half, I held my breath, because I thought, it's game over.
Who's coming on for him?
Goes off. And, you know, the fact that he then put on that performance, winning interceptions, Enzo Fernandez's range of passes is just improving by the day. Some of the passes that he's making on that field, he sees it, so intelligent, and you can see that he's almost using, we're seeing that Enzo Fernandez that plays for Argentina play for Chelsea, and I think that's all we ever wished, you know, when we signed him as well. And he obviously had a great start, dropped off, has had difficulty settling into the environment. But at the end of the day, if these players are improving, then something's happening, something's going right. And, you know, they're patting the badge, we see some passion. It's been a tough couple of years, Alex, hasn't it? We've had players that have been itching to leave, so we've got players there that are at least fighting for the badge. 100%, that's something. 100%.
I mean, I would argue that there are players that can do more, but generally speaking,
yes.
You know, I'm not going to see her until the players aren't trying. I think the system also puts you in a weird position where last season, run away, go for it, and now you have to be a little bit more disciplined with what the manager's saying.
100%. So again, the players are obviously just following instructions, aren't they? So I just wish that Maresca gives them a little bit more confidence to, if you're given an opportunity, shoot. Don't pick a pass every time, don't pick a run, don't try and cross and do something extra. You don't always need to. And again, I keep saying the way that Maresca has his playing often means that when we hit teams on a break or on a counter-attack, we lose the man advantage of being on a counter because we wait for everyone to get back. So that really limits and ties our hands up. So we need to find something different to do. These players need to, they've obviously got potential there. I think Maresca needs to give them a bit more freedom, and I think they need to shoot more. Simple as that. Shoot. You never know. You might score.
Hey, that's so simple, but
so simple, yeah. So
not so simple at the same time.
Easy said from the stands, hey.
Yeah, you get that all the time. What do you think going into the Brentford game? I mean, obviously Tottenham are a much more open side.
Yeah.
Brentford, very doubtful that they're going to be as expansive as what we've seen today with Spurs.
Yes.
Do you think that we're going to have a totally different kind of game on Sunday? Do you see us getting 2 wins in a row since coming back from internationals?
I'd like to say so. I really need. I think we need some momentum going here. You know, I think we need to see a little bit of a streak forming here, and I think that Brentford's a tough one. It's away from home, and do you know what? In recent history, Brentford's a fixture that troubles Chelsea, isn't it? And I even actually think the home game we won against them just before we went on that bad spell, the issues were showing in that game already. So actually that's where the cracks started to widen in that game, and I think that, you know, we have stuff to fix. That performance wasn't perfect, we got the result, and I guess that kind of will stand even for this one if we get the result and the performance isn't great. But, you know, certainly performances at some point do need to get better, but, you know, we've got a job to do for the remainder of the season, and, you know, 4 or 5 wins need to come from somewhere, so we better start with obviously today Tottenham and Brentford at the weekend.
And just finishing up on the striker situation.
Yeah.
Got a few that we're being linked with: Osman, Gorkarez, Delap, Jonathan David, Sesko. Who's your pick?
Well, you know what? I think my opinions on that changes week in, week out. I probably would have said Delap earlier on, but to be completely honest, I just think that anyone who comes into the box and can actually exert presence aerially, I think, and also just be a bit of a target man will do. I think, you know, Delap, you look at his goal scoring output, he does obviously a lot more than score goals as well. It's great, but it is difficult because, no disrespect, but he's obviously doing it at Ipswich, and it's going to be completely different when he comes in at Chelsea, so there's always that risk as well. So maybe someone that's got a little bit more, I don't know, European CV, a bit more of a what's the word? Do you know what I mean? A bit more of a rich experience might be better. If you look at it on paper, Delap's only got 1 goal more than Jackson actually this season. I know Jackson's been out and it's probably not a great comparison to make, but I think that we need someone who's going to be way better than Jackson, in a sense that he comes, gives them competition, we get the output, we get the aerial presence, we get the just be in the box, don't gravitate towards the wing all the time, and then hopefully we can start scoring some corners, scoring some free kicks with headers, and etc. But yeah, a striker is needed.
Just a proper striker,
just
basically.
a proper striker for proper Chelsea, you know.
There you go, finish it off well.